So, if you're wondering why the energy feels so calm right now, like you know that your energy has shifted, and we're experiencing the Lionsgate portal, the 8/8 and Lionsgate portal, and right now you really feel the energy shifting, and you feel as if just balance is being restored. So if you were weighed down by a lot of baggage, by a lot of pain, by a lot of trauma, by just a lot of things of your past, the scales are now balancing, and now you're feeling more at ease. And a lot of things at this moment do feel a lot more calm. Like when you think of your enemies and the people of your past that have really hurt you and caused you a lot of trauma and a lot of damage that was has honestly altered your brain chemistry and caused a has severely impacted you because of how traumatic and damaging this was. But if you notice that around, like, let's just compare it back to a few months ago, like a couple or a few months ago, when you would think of your enemies, and you would get so, you might have gotten very angry, very frustrated, very flustered, like you had so much rage that was coming out because you were purging a lot of that emotion. Now at this point, as you're going through this Lionsgate portal, you're noticing that your reaction towards your memories of your past are different now. That when you think of your enemies and you think of the pain they have put you through, you don't rage as much as you used to. You actually have a calm reaction to it. It's like you feel this overwhelming sense of peace. You just feel like everything is okay. Because your spirit knows that justice has been served. You feel it in the spirit. The spirit is much quicker, but in the physical, it's a lot slower. It manifests a lot more gradual. So, as the physical is slower to process, your spiritual is feeling the effects of the scales being balanced, of justice being served, of, there's another version of you in a different timeline that is completely removed from all of this. And that, you are enjoying the energy of the peace that you have from overcoming that painful cycle. Like you finally got off that hamster wheel. You're on to new endeavors. You're on to new, like, just bigger and better things, because there's a version of you that's already there. And this is just the beginning of you getting to that point. Like you have gotten off the hamster wheel. You also know for a fact that what you went through was not in vain, because another version of yourself, your higher self, in a different timeline, is now feeling the peace that everything that you went through, the rewards that God has given you, and the blessings and the manifestations that you have, those blessings truly and finally make up for the hurt and pain that you have been through. So when you feel that sense of peace, it's because you know that another version of yourself, another timeline, everything is fine. Everything is at ease. You are just on a different timeline that is leading you towards merging with that timeline. You are at a point now where, like, you've left the old and you're transitioning into the new, and you feel that, but you already feel that sense of peace. Now it's just the physical having to slowly and gradually bring you there. Like, you have to go through the days or weeks or months that it's going to take to get you to where this new timeline of where everything is abundant for you. That's going to take the steps to get there. Your spirit is already there. It's just this physical body has to work in the physical to get there. And you also feel this sense of justice because you know that your enemies did not go unpunished for what they have done to you. And I'm getting another message. What's going on with your enemies right now is that your ancestors your spirit guides, they have been, it's like they have been taunting your enemies for what they have done to you, and the truth has been haunting them. Them, the behaviors and actions that they took in the past and how it's hurt you, they tried to lie about it. They tried to deflect and act like they didn't do anything. But now the truth is coming after them. The truth is haunting them because you have been speaking your truth. So now that truth is, knocking at their door, tapping them on the shoulder, just trying to get them to face it. And at this point, because at first your ancestors were like just all in them, like so much energy. But now your ancestors are like, they're calm. It's the calm before the storm. It's the calm before all of this destruction. Because if your ancestors could speak to your enemies, this is what they would say. So as your ancestors are speaking with your enemies, they're calm. And basically what they're saying to your enemies is, I cannot stop what's coming to you. I cannot control what's coming to you. The destruction and chaos that is on its way to you is inevitable. You cannot avoid it. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. And this is happening because of all of the hurt that you have caused one of our family lineage, like someone from our family lineage, however you want to say it, my child, this is my family, this is from my bloodline. You hurt someone within our bloodline, and you hurt all these other people. So this destruction and chaos that is in your life right now is because you are reaping what you have sown. So everything that you are getting ready to reap, all of the negative that you are getting ready to reap, is because of the negative seeds that you have sown in the past. This is not anyone putting a hex or a curse on you. This is not anyone, manipulating or just doing some destruction and sabotaging your life. No, this is your own self-sabotage. This is your own self-destruction. When you went to destroy another person's life, all of that energy is now coming back on you to now your life will be destroyed. Everything as you know it will fall and crumble. It'll be a very humiliating time for you, but it can also be a very humbling moment for you. Because basically, what your ancestors are wanting to say to them is, when all this chaos happens to you and you start experiencing at first hand the same things that you put other people through, when you start receiving that pain, the first thing we want to do is, it's no use of us harping you down and beating down your throat. It's no use of us doing that because God is already handling it. What we are here to do is to guide you and hopefully lead you down the path of righteousness, to lead you back to God. So when all this destruction is happening and you are on the receiving end of a lot of this pain from other people, the first thing is, saying to your enemies, will you acknowledge that this is hurtful treatment? Because it's happening to you and it's hurting you. Do you acknowledge that this is hurtful? And if they can acknowledge that it is hurtful, then it's like, okay, now that you could acknowledge that, can you see that this is the same hurt that you are feeling is the same hurt that you caused somebody else? You cannot undo the damage that you have caused them. You cannot undo the hurt. And your apologies are not going to repair the damage that was caused to them. That's why everything that is being dealt to you is because of the damage that you've caused them. However, you can decide moving forward that you're not going to be in that energy anymore, that you're not going to allow the devil to run rampant through your mind and get you to hurt people, because look, you just hurt God's child, and now you're receiving God's wrath. And if you don't want that ever again, you can change your ways, allow God back into your life, allow God into your spirit, allow God to heal your heart, because you are never too far gone from God when you go back to God. If you can choose to go back to God and repent.